currently is in Bengaluru. The government is grappling to find a solution. People across the city, this isn't limited to one part of Bengaluru, across the city, there is a crippling water shortage right now, and it isn't even summer. So you can only imagine what the next few months have in store for Bengalurians. The Silicon Valley, ironically it's called the city of lakes as well, is now struggling without water. The local civic body in Bengaluru has asked residents to pay 600 rupees per tanker, but reportedly there are many apartment residents who are paying a much higher cost for the same. There are attempts to regulate water tankers, which we'll show you in just a bit, hasn't been very successful. Residents are struggling to also get tankers on time. At this point, you've got several steps that have been taken by authorities, including banning the use of potable water in swimming pools. But get this, if there's a violation for anyone who's using drinking water for their pools, the fine is just about 5,000 rupees. And ask yourself, for someone who's willing to spend money, shell out money for drinking water for their pools, are they really going to be bothered by a 5,000 rupee fine? We'll get you all the latest on that, but first take a look at some ground reports.
We are at Balaji layout near Horamavu, where people are struggling to get water every single day. It is a tanker which is supplying water for all these people, as the borewells have dried up, and even the local panchayat water is not being supplied on time. Let us go and speak to people, what they have to say, what are the problems that they are facing. Sir, what are the problems that you are facing here in Balaji layout?
All our water which is supplied by the BBMP is dried up. We are procuring water from the water tanker private, which is very costly. Starting from range, one tanker is costing around 600 to 1,200-2,000 rupees.
3 दिन पहले हम लोग जमा करना पड़ा है, क्या एडवांस बुकिंग करना पड़ता है, इसलिए लोगों को बहुत तकलीफ होता है.
Tanker mafia is very highly going on in our layout. Before 3 days we are booking the tanker, and they used to charge for 8,000 liters, they used to charge 1,600 before. Now they are charging 3,000, and day before yesterday they wanted more than 3,000.
This is the plight of the people here in Balaji layout, where they are demanding that the government should address the issue and also try to bring Kaveri water as soon as possible, as people are struggling for drinking water in the area. With video journalist Shivamurthy Sagairas reporting for India Today, Bengaluru.
And let's now get to India Today's special investigation, where we've blown the lid off the water mafia, making the most essentially of the crisis currently in Bengaluru to charge more from residents. Illegal borewells are being built in several parts of the city. Remember that the biggest problem that Bengalurians are having is that their borewells have completely run dry. And one of the major reasons for this is clear legal boundaries being flouted, as borewells are being put up in commercial locations with nobody tracking this. Let's get you the first part of India Today's special investigation. India's very own Silicon Valley. The high-tech city home to 14 million people, facing its worst water shortage in decades.
Rain God has not come. 200 taluks have been declared as a drought taluks. More than 7,000 borewells have been dried in Bangalore out of 14,000. There was a big cap, there was a big mafia on the prices of water, including the supplying of water. We have capped them, we have brought them to the books. Everything is under control.
Weak monsoon, depleting groundwater, reservoirs and green cover, alongside extensive urbanization, have escalated a chronic problem into a crisis. But opportunists are exploiting Bengaluru's water crisis. An India Today investigation revealed residents at the mercy of a water tanker mafia. This cartel operates without government registration, flouting legal boundaries, particularly in South Bengaluru. Meet Lokesh. He's installed a borewell in a commercial location in the Jigni industrial area, and he's profiting from the extraction of already scarce groundwater, supplying it to our undercover reporter posing as a marble trader.
लोकेश वहाँ पे ना मैं फैक्ट्री है ले रहा हूँ इसकी मार्बल्स की, तो वहाँ पे पानी चाहिए मुझे, तो दे दोगे ना? हैं? पानी ठीक रहेगा ना उसके लिए?
हाँ, पानी सभी घर में
जा रहा है पानी
पूरा घर में, वो कम नहीं।
आप इसको, ये बोरवेल का पानी है?
बोरवेल पानी इधर है।
अच्छा, इस बोरवेल से आप यहाँ से भर लेते हो?
हाँ, इधर।
Lokesh offered borewell water for drinking at 600 rupees for 6,000 litres.
कितना पैसे लगेंगे?
600।
कौन सा पानी है? पीने का है या
पीने के? बोरवेल से।
बोरवेल से। कितना लीटर आता है इसमें?
600 लीटर
है?
6,000
लीटर आता है। ये आपका रजिस्टर्ड है वो जो सरकार के साथ जो नहीं है रजिस्टर्ड?
Supplies from unauthorized borewells delivered to Bengaluru homes. The city's water utility now requires permission for new borewells starting March 15th. Drinking water use for non-drinking purposes like car washing is also banned. But unscrupulous tanker operators continue to profit. This tanker was brazenly filled from a boring pump in a village outside Bengaluru.
उधर नहीं जा सकता है। ये नीचे है क्या बोरवेल? हाँ, नीचे। अच्छा, ऊपर ले रहा है। ये तो खेती का है ना, एग्रीकल्चर बोरवेल है। उधर वॉल बना दिया नीचे में है। तो ये खेती के लिए करा रखा है ना? नहीं, खेती फार्मिंग के लिए। खेती नहीं है। पानी का सप्लाई पीने का पानी।
तो तुम किसको सप्लाई कर रहे हो?
मैं तो ग्रेनाइट फैक्ट्री में डालता हूँ, वाटर कलर में डालता हूँ। उधर ग्रेनाइट फैक्ट्री है।
ग्रेनाइट फैक्ट्री में डाल रहे हो?
जो पीने का पानी, पीने का भी चलता है उधर, वो साइड कटिंग यूनिट में डाल रहे हैं। कटिंग कौन सा?
कितने डाल देते हो डेली?
नोट अभी ज़्यादा पानी हो गया, 20-21 ऐसा।
Guru Prakash, another supplier to the marble cutting industry in Jigni, claims borewells can be easily dug with bribes to local officials.
और कितना बोर चल रहा है यहाँ पर?
अभी इधर 1800 1900 तक पे पानी नहीं मिल रहा।
अगर हम यहाँ पर बोर कराएं तो किससे बात करनी पड़ेगी?
किसको बात करना? पॉइंट वाला है, पॉइंट वाला है तो पॉइंट कितना 600 कितना अड़ी को देता, उतना अड़ी को रिक को फोन किया तो परमिशन लेने की जरूरत नहीं।
पैसा कितना लेते हो?
पैसा सर मिनिमम मेरे हिसाब से एक 2 लाख ऊपर जाए। हमें दिया, हमारा बोर को गया 3 लाख 3.5 हजार।
3.5 लाख रुपए दिया था तुमने?
हाँ।
हैं?
तो कितना फीट बोलता उतना फीट पूरा जाना पड़ा।
As the city thirsts, illegal extraction and supply of borewell water thrives. Environmental damage demands immediate enforcement before irreparable harm is done. Stay tuned for more on Bengaluru's water mafia. Nitin Jain for India Today's special investigation team. So what have we confirmed in that investigative report? That illegal borewells are cropping up left, right and centre, and that water is being provided to industrial hubs without any sort of checks and regulations. So that means there is that much lesser water for the residents of Bengaluru, for apartments or for homes who are looking for water tankers. And then you've got these illegal borewells essentially bleeding dry the entire city. The government says we're doing everything we can to check this current crisis. But what you see on your screens is proof that we have on camera that there's still very much unregulated illegal borewells that are coming up in parts of Bengaluru. There's nothing new about this. We see this every time in Bengaluru. But the fact is that even now, it remains completely unchecked. We've given you at least 2 case studies, and we'll get you part 2 of this investigation as well. But before that, I'd like to bring in our reporters as well on this broadcast. We've got Anaga Keshav and Sagai Raj joining us live. Sagai, I'm going to come across to you first. You're joining us live from Babusapalya, which is very close to KR Puram. And it's in these places that you've got residential localities struggling right now for water.
Absolutely, they had to shell out 2 times more than what they used to spend earlier for a single tanker of water. And even if they are ready to spend so much of money, the tankers are coming. Probably if you book today, after 2 days, you will receive the tanker. And that is the plight of the people where they are struggling every single day. Ma'am, can you explain to us what kind of the problem that you are facing because of the tankers?
Okay, apologies. We're just going to connect with Sagai. We've lost his audio. So we will come back to you, Sagai. Get us those voices in a bit. Anaga, if I can come across to you, I understand you've got several residents with you as well. We want to throw the light on what residents are facing, despite how industrial hubs seem to be getting the water they need because of these kind of illegal borewells being put up. So take it away.
Well, Akshita, I'm right now reporting from Pattanagere near RR Nagar, and I have a lot of residents with me who are, who are right with us. Sir, you were talking about something very interesting. That's about the private water tanker mafia. Tell us about what you have faced, sir.
Okay, so madam, it's like this. When you order your water with a water tanker, they take 2-3 days. Previously, they were charging 600 rupees. Now they are charging 2,100 rupees. The second thing is the water tanker capacity is 6,000 liters. But they bring only 4,000 liters, they give it to us. And they don't give total 6,000. Even if your resident tank is 2,000, balanced water they don't give. They take it away. And they are very harsh. It's very difficult, and they take their own sweet time. They come sometime midnight also, they come and deliver the water.
Who is it?
Water tankers. They are coming midnight also. The second thing is they take a lot of time. It's not like that you call and they come. You call and they take 2-3 days and they come and deliver the water.
Okay.
This is the problem, and the major stuff is now we have many water tanker services. I think they have formed a cartel. All of them talk the same language.
Yeah.
And they are very tough with us.
Yeah, the way they talk to you is also very harsh and coarse. Sir, recently the government went ahead and mandated that the private tankers should be capped regarding the amount that they charge for residents in order to put an end to the exploitation. So do you feel that right now, you just ordered a water tanker. Has the price come down even a wee bit, sir?
I don't know where that policy is working, but in our area, when we call that tanker people, they politely say that no sir, we have no water. If we give more amount, they'll come and put the water. So that's how it is working.
Have you tried telling them that the government has capped it?
Yes, I tried that. Government has fixed amount of money for each tanker. But if we talk rules, they simply say we don't have water right now. We'll come back to you around 2 to 3 days later.
Okay, so if you talk about rules, they say there is no water. But if you offer more money, then they'll come and give water. All right.
After 2 to 3 days only they'll come, not immediately.
Right. Ma'am, you have been a resident of Pattanagere for a very long time now. Tell us about the situation, because when I came here, you were literally fuming because of this water crisis. Tell us about what you've been facing.
See, since from last November, we have a very tough water scarcity. And before that, the whole residents are from more than 25 years in this area. Okay. So what's happening, it's very tough, and there's no water supply in a proper channel. So they tell that the walls has been broken, either in university there, or somewhere in Bemel layout, or somewhere near in the mid of the Pattanagere area. So they tell they will make it correction and then they will supply the water, but they are not doing it so. Now they are not doing it so. And moreover, they tell when I call the water wala fellow, so he'll tell I'll leave it in the evening, but that is not coming. So it takes more than 3 to 4 days. If I approach the BWSSB engineer, they tell no, we don't have scarcity. The whole Bangalore is facing that scarcity, trying to withstand with us.
So there's a lot of delay when you call the private tanker. Exactly. They promise to come, but then they don't turn up.
No, even the tankers, they never come properly, and if they come also, they speak in a very rude way, and they talk itself is very rude and bad.
You know, truly heartbreaking, because, you know, if you talk rules to the private tankers saying that the government has capped it, they say that they don't have water. But then if you offer them more money, they turn up. Truly shocking words that we are hearing from the residents
are at the mercy of these water tankers. Anaga, we'll come back to you. I'm slipping into a very short break, and on the other side, we're going to be getting you part 2 of our India Today special investigation, where we take you to Whitefield, one of the worst affected parts of Bengaluru, where again it's the same story of illegal borewells being constructed, but we dig deeper to find out who's given permission for this.
जी, जिनकी देख रेख के अंदर मैं पला हूं, बड़ा हुआ हूं, और उनसे बहुत कुछ सीखा है। एक बारीक से बारीक चीज भी सीखी है, और उसको कैसे मेंटेन करना है उसके बारे में भी माननीय अध्यक्ष जी मैंने पूरी जानकारी, वो पूरा सीखा है। मैं एक साधारण परिवार का लड़का हूं। परिवार के अंदर कोई चुनाव नहीं लड़ा, राजनीति के अंदर कोई व्यक्ति नहीं था। एक भारतीय जनता पार्टी का छोटा सा कार्यकर्ता था, और वो छोटा सा कार्यकर्ता भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने विभिन्न पदों के ऊपर रखते हुए पार्टी के अध्यक्ष के रूप में बैठा दिया, और आज इस पद के ऊपर सदन के नेता के रूप में मुझे यहां विराजमान किया है। आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी के अंदर ही संभव है, ये कहीं और संभव नहीं। मैं उस साधारण परिवार का बच्चा हूं, और उसी परिवार से आदरणीय मनोहर लाल जी आते हैं, और ये भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। मैं धन्यवाद करता हूं शीर्ष नेतृत्व का भी, आदरणीय मनोहर लाल जी का भी, कि जिन्होंने एक ऐसी जिम्मेवारी के ऊपर, प्रमुख जिम्मेवारी के ऊपर बैठाया है। नहीं तो निर्णय करना कठिन हो जाता है आदरणीय अध्यक्ष जी, कि मुख्यमंत्री के बाद कौन बनेगा। परिवार की तरफ सोचते हैं कि अगर कहीं जाना पड़ गया तो मेरा बेटा बनेगा, परंतु माननीय अध्यक्ष जी, भारतीय जनता पार्टी है। जिस मुख्यमंत्री ने अपने एक छोटे से कार्यकर्ता को ये जिम्मेवारी सौंपी है, मैं मनोहर लाल जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं।
आईटी हार्डवेयर के लिए पीएलआई स्कीम्स हो, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कंपोनेंट्स के लिए स्कीम्स हो, या फिर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स मैन्युफैक्चरिंग क्लस्टर्स हो, इन सभी में भारत ने इंसेंटिव देकर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स इकोसिस्टम को तरक्की के नए अवसर दिए हैं। आज भारत पूरी दुनिया का दूसरा सबसे बड़ा मोबाइल फोन मैन्युफैक्चरर है।
ये नूरा कुश्ती है, ये दिखावे की लड़ाई है, ये स्टेज्ड फाइट है, और इसलिए की गई है क्योंकि 4.5 साल तो खूब मिलकर एक दूसरे के साथ लूट मचाई। हरियाणा को बेरोजगारी में नंबर 1 पे ले आए, महिला सुरक्षा में नंबर 1 पर ले आए, और अब जब चुनाव के मुहाने पर आए हैं तो नेतृत्व परिवर्तन हो रहा है। असलियत ये है कि इसमें बहुत सारे सबक हैं। पहला सबक यह है दुष्यंत चौटाला के लिए कि भाजपा के साथ जो मिलेगा उसको वो नाग पहले ही डस लेगा। तो आप सब लोग जरा सावधान हो जाइए, उनके सारे घटक दलों को यह कहना चाहिए, इसीलिए काफी सारे घटक दलों ने दूरी बना ली थी।
आपकी तरफ के लोगों का समर्थन आपको खुद ही नहीं मिलता है, और जब आंकड़े किसी पार्टी के पक्ष में आते हैं और सत्ता परिवर्तन होता है तो उसको स्वीकारने के बजाय ये सत्ता विलाप क्यों? सत्ता चली गई लेकिन सत्ता विलाप इनका आज तक बंद नहीं हुआ है।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. You're joining us live as we continue to uncover what's led largely to the Bengaluru water crisis. Yes, it's because of a monsoon deficit. Yes, it's also because of what we've been seeing in the ongoing Kaveri water dispute. But there's also an issue of rampant corruption, of illegal borewells in Bengaluru that's only aggravated the water scarcity. We played out part 1 for you, where you saw how water tankers were illegally being handed over to industries at very cheap rates. Illegal borewells were coming up in several parts of Bengaluru. We'll now expose the corruption. We'll show you how these borewells are being allowed to be dug illegally in so many parts, particularly even in places like Whitefield, where right next to where these borewells are, apartments are struggling as their borewells have run dry. Relentless drilling reverberates. Workers tirelessly search for groundwater to sustain ongoing construction projects. Despite regulations imposed by the authorities, illegal borewell operations persist in Bengaluru's Whitefield area, an area grappling with severe water scarcity. We spoke with the man overseeing one such digging operation, who admitted to under-the-table dealings to bypass official permissions. The scene repeats itself. Drilling sounds echoing, identical operations underway. At another site within Whitefield. Muthukumar oversees borewell drilling here, acknowledging the alarming depletion of the water table.
पानी इधर है, थोड़ा या ज़्यादा नहीं आया, ले लिया अभी नया ले लिया, 4 आदमी 4 सेट होना ले लिया, बड़ा मकान उनका 4 आदमी पार्टनर है ना, मकान बन रहा है।
Illegal borewell diggings, a significant threat to Bengaluru's already fragile water resources, jeopardizing the sustainability of Karnataka's tech hub. Nitin Jain for India Today's Special Investigation Team. And let's bring in Sagaraj on this broadcast to get you more voices from Bengalurians to highlight how they're suffering and struggling as a result of this kind of rampant corruption. Sagai, it's over to you. Take us through what the residents have to say. Do they believe the government really is doing enough to address some of these issues?
The government is trying to streamline. The government claims that all this while everything was jeopardized, there was no system, there was no streamlining. Now the government is trying to streamline the price. They have bought some kind of rules for all these tankers. Do you think the rules has been followed? The prices fixed by the government has been followed?
No, it was only in the media that we read the news. We were so happy. But when we called, they said 1,500. I said, the media, we have got so many BBMP reports. They said, you want to buy. There are people who are ready to buy at 3,000 rupees, madam. We are not here to give. You want, you take. Otherwise, it's okay. So that.
How long it takes for you to get one single tanker of a water, sir?
More than.
Despite paying so much.
Yes, more than 4 or 5 days after you beg, kneel down, request, what all to do, and they have got their own tones now. Nodana, Madana, that tone is. We are not having a drop of water at home. We have to wait and wait and wait. And after paying also, again we have to wait. I thank this
the situation wasn't that bad earlier, don't you think? So now the tankers have taken advantage of the situation and charging you double than what you used to pay earlier.
It does seem that way because earlier we would call for the tankers and within 2 hours we used to get our tankers over here for a lot cheaper price as well. Now the price has skyrocketed, almost 3-fold it is now, and it takes almost 3 to 4 days for the water to come. And these guys, they don't respond to calls after some time. You tell them okay, they'll say they will come, and there's no phone calls afterwards after that.
And there are a lot of water has been spent on construction work and other things which has not been allowed. The government says that you should use more for a drinking purpose, not for all these things. How do you see this?
I agree, right? Like, your drinking of water is the very first necessity, and we can definitely curb on washing our cars and other things as such, but the priority is for drinking water. And some of us, even though it's expensive, we're able to afford the 3,000 rupees. What about the people who can't? And they need to drink, right? So, yeah, of course, we need to save on things like washing cars, but there's a fine line for all of it. It's not black and white. It's very gray.
3,000 for a tanker, probably 1 or 3 days. Probably for 3 days it will be there. Another for next 4 days you need to spend more than 3,000 for water.
Maybe, sir. At present, we are paying 1,000 rupees and that for tanker. If you book today, they will give you on 3-4 days. After 3-4 days, depend upon the tankers. Some tank persons are coming and give this one.
So essentially, it's taking 3 to 4 days. Yeah, it's taking 3 to 4 days for any tanker to turn up, even after they dial one of them and seek water supply. And they left for days without any water. So we've shown you 2 parts of our special investigation. Let's get you the first reaction coming in from the government. You've got DK Shivkumar now speaking out on India Today's special investigation, vowing that action will be taken and saying that we're doing everything we can right now to bring the water mafia in check. He's saying that we're booking them, we're identifying them, and also highlighting how the government is ensuring that tankers are brought under government control. I'll quickly play out for you what DK Shivkumar, the Karnataka Deputy Chief Minister, has to say.
There was a big mafia on the prices of water, including the supplying of water. We have capped them, we have brought them to the books. Everything is under control. BJP wanted to do politics, they are just let them do whatever they want.
Tankers today also are giving it to factories, car washing centers, they're wasting water.
See, I am telling you, we have given sufficient time to them. I have extended for a week. Already 3 days is over, still 3 days is there. After 3 days, even those tankers will be under the control of the government.
All right, let's bring in Nagarjun Dwarkanath on this broadcast. Naga, what exactly is the government doing to address the problem of the water crisis? Almost daily we hear from the government on steps they're taking, but at the same time, the issues that we have highlighted in our investigation isn't new to Bengaluru. Illegal borewells coming up, rampant corruption, water tankers charging heftily. It's not new, but the reality is that even to date, it remains unchecked.
Well, that is true, Akshita. In fact, when I questioned Mr. DK Shivkumar, who's also in charge of the Bangalore city as a minister, he said that
we'll give time to the tankers to register under us. The moment they register under us, we know where they are traveling to, where they are taking water from and who they are giving it to. As of now, the regulations are not being followed. That's the reason why we see tanker mafia, people taking water from illegal borewells, from agriculture land, and then giving it to people who pay the most. That's the reason why we have seen this water mafia. The government says that we are in cognizance of what is happening. We will register all the water tankers in Bengaluru and we will direct which water tanker goes to where and which water tanker fills water from where, and hence proving a point of our investigation that the rules are not being followed, the law of the land is not being followed, and the government has to wake up immediately.
Very true. Nagarjun, thanks for joining us with all of those details. Let's hope that our operation now, our investigative report, wakes up the authorities to immediately take action. Let's tell you really what our expose therefore confirms on the situation currently in Bengaluru. Drinking water is clearly being sold for non-drinking purposes, and while steps are being taken by the authorities by putting up penalties and the likes, it's still very much happening and rampantly at that, particularly in industrial hubs in the city. Borewells are being dug and misused without any proper permits. There are loopholes clearly in the system that some people are misusing to go ahead and dig borewells and then supply water at huge costs. Government officials are taking bribes, allowing these people to go ahead and dig borewells. It's not being nipped in the bud, which is why you're seeing so many such illegal borewells coming up, leading to several others running bone dry as well, because there's also a limit on how much water you can extract from these borewells. That's not being followed either in these illegal borewells. The water is being illegally sold to industries. Apartments today are struggling. There are limits put on every possible manner of water usage, and here industries are getting access to tanker water for different charges, and because of these kind of illegal borewells coming up, and despite the fact that the government has said that water tankers must be registered with them. Drinking water is being sold to industries at 10 paise per litre. This is something that you had on record in the India Today investigative report. 5 revelations that we put forth for you, 5 action points that the government clearly needs to take going forward, especially because the water scarcity is only going to get worse in the months to come in Bengaluru. Let's get you more reactions on our investigative special.
The government should have anticipated, understood that there is going to be a water crisis. This is a basic common sense. Whenever there is a summer, when there is a bad rainfall, definitely there will be a short of drinking water. This basic thing the government has not understood, and they have completely faulted in the management of the water crisis, and it is leading to a lot of challenges and a lot of restriction, and there is a huge shortage of drinking water. I totally condemn the very approach of this government, not being serious, not being sincere.
Because friendship of siddaramaiah and Stalin. Kaveri water is gone to Tamil Nadu. Now there is no water in Kaveri. If water is there, they are saying Congress people, water is there. Come on, pump more water to the Bangalore. Why not? I think this worst government in Karnataka, they are not handling properly. They are busy with the Tamil Nadu sharing of seats. They are getting more seat for the Congress people. They are sharing our water.
Despite there are many orders which has been passed saying that water should be used for drinking purpose, not for construction, not for swimming pool. These are being violated. These orders have been violated by many people.
No. I mean, see, we are facing drought, a severe drought, never in the history which we have faced. So that's a fact. Despite that, the government has said we are competent enough to take care of the water crisis in the city. We have not asked for any activity to be stopped. The construction activity, whether it is for the swimming pool, for the drinking water purpose, potable purpose, whatever it is. We have said all the activities will go on. It is the responsibility of the government to supply the water. So unnecessary controversy is being created by our BJP friends, but government is competent enough to manage the water crisis. This much I can say.
Well, there is always in the summer we will have some problem. For 2 months we will have problem in Bangalore because the kind of expansion that has taken place It's huge, and there's no serious crisis there for water. We have borewells, we have tankers, and there's not any problem. And they're only trying to play politics out of water. They are talking of releasing water to Tamil Nadu. It is not our job. It is the CWC is there, Central Water Commission is there, that they take the decision on Kaveri, not the state government.
We're sure the Karnataka government has seen our investigation. We only hope that they act on it too. It always comes down to one issue, that of corruption. And here too, it's exactly that's left Bengaluru completely parched even before summer. We promise to continue taking this forward and getting you all possible reactions and hope for action from the government. I'm slipping into a very, very short break. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you details of the Prime Minister's itinerary for 5 days from March 15 to 19. He's going to be completely focusing on South India, holding rallies and roadshows.
सरकार में मेट्रो नेटवर्क का विस्तार भी हुआ और देश की राजधानी में आज देश का सबसे बड़ा मेट्रो नेटवर्क बनकर खड़ा हुआ है। 945 किलोमीटर का मेट्रो नेटवर्क आज देश में है और 919 किलोमीटर की मेट्रो लाइंस अंडर कंस्ट्रक्शन है, जो आज काम चल रहा है। मुझे कहते हुए प्रसन्नता है कि आज 2 नए कॉरिडोर्स को अनुमति मिली है, जिनके ऊपर 8400 करोड़ रुपया व्यय होगा। लाजपत नगर से साकेत जी ब्लॉक के लिए, लाजपत नगर से साकेत जी ब्लॉक के लिए 8.4 किलोमीटर लगभग मेट्रो लाइन है। ये इसके 8 स्टेशन होंगे। ये सारी एलिवेटेड मेट्रो लाइन रहेगी। और दूसरी है इंद्रलोक से इंद्रप्रस्थ तक, ये भी 12.377 लगभग 12.4 किलोमीटर मेट्रो लाइन इंद्रलोक से इंद्रप्रस्थ तक बनेगी। इसमें अंडरग्राउंड जो है वो लगभग 11.4 और एलिवेटेड 1 किलोमीटर के लगभग बनेगी। इसके कुल मिलाकर 10 स्टेशन होंगे, जिनमें से 9 अंडरग्राउंड और 1 एलिवेटेड होगा। सो कुल मिलाकर 20.7 किलोमीटर की ये सड़कें, 20.7 किलोमीटर की मेट्रो लाइन, जिसके ऊपर 8,400 करोड़ रुपया खर्च होगा, इसकी मंजूरी दी गई है। इससे पहले
कांग्रेस पार्टी आज नारी न्याय गारंटी की घोषणा करती है। इसके तहत कांग्रेस पार्टी महिलाओं के लिए देश में एक नया एजेंडा सेट करने जा रही है। नारी न्याय गारंटी के अंतर्गत कांग्रेस पार्टी 5 घोषणाएं कर रही है। उसमें पहली घोषणा है महालक्ष्मी गारंटी। इसके तहत सभी गरीब परिवार की एक महिला को सालाना 1 लाख रुपए की सहायता दी जाएगी। दूसरी घोषणा है आधी आबादी पूरा हक। इसके तहत केंद्र सरकार की नई नियुक्तियों में आधा हक महिलाओं को मिलेगा। तीसरी है शक्ति का सम्मान। इस योजना के तहत आंगनवाड़ी, आशा और मिड डे मील वर्कर्स के मासिक वेतन में केंद्र सरकार का कंट्रीब्यूशन 2 गुना होगा। चौथा है अधिकार मैत्री। इसके तहत हर पंचायत में महिलाओं को उनके हकों के लिए जागरूक करने और जरूरी मदद के लिए अधिकार मैत्री के रूप में एक पैरालीगल यानी कानूनी सहायक की नियुक्ति की जाएगी। 5वीं है सावित्रीबाई फुले हॉस्टल। भारत सरकार देश भर में सभी जिला मुख्यालय में कम से कम एक कामकाजी महिलाओं का हॉस्टल बनाएगी और पूरे देश में इन हॉस्टल की संख्या दोगुनी की जाएगी। इसके पहले हमने भागीदारी न्याय, किसान न्याय, युवा न्याय घोषित की है और ये कहने की जरूरत नहीं कि हमारी गारंटी खोखले वायदे और जुमले नहीं होते। हमारा कहा पत्थर की लकीर होती है। ये हमारा 1926 से अब तक का रिकॉर्ड है। जब हमारे विरोधियों का जन्म हो रहा था तब से हम मैनिफेस्टो बना रहे हैं और उन घोषणाओं को पूरा कर रहे हैं।
Make your media plan smarter with India Today Live TV on your connected devices. Amplify your brand with 100 million smart internet viewers. To advertise, mail us at sales@aajtak.com.
Welcome back. Let's get you details of the Prime Minister's schedule from March 15 to 19th, where he's only going to be focusing on the south. He's going to be based in the 5 south states and will be holding rallies as well as roadshows. This South Blitz will kick off from Kanyakumari in Tamil Nadu on March 15th. On the same day, the Prime Minister will also visit Patnamthitta in Kerala and Malkajgiri in Telangana. What's unique about the rallies that the Prime Minister will be holding is that every single day he's chosen 2 to 3 districts and they're not in the same states. It's always a mix of different states. So the Prime Minister from 15th to 19th will be travelling all across these states, almost every single day stepping foot in a Tamil Nadu or in a Karnataka. Let's get your reactions coming in. Tamil Nadu Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has taunted the Prime Minister over his upcoming visit.
ஒரு வாரத்தில் தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு வரதாக செய்தி வந்திருக்கு. வரப்போறாரு. தமிழ்நாட்டுக்கு செஞ்சு தந்திருக்கக்கூடிய சிறப்பு திட்டங்களை பட்டியல் போடுங்க. என்ன சிறப்பு திட்டங்களை கொண்டு வந்தீங்கன்னு தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் கேட்கணும். ஆட்சியில் இருந்த 10 வருஷமா தமிழ்நாட்டை திரும்பி பார்க்காம தேர்தலுக்கு 10 நாள் வந்து போய் சொன்னா தமிழ்நாட்டு மக்களான நாங்கள் என்ன ஏமாளிகளா? நாங்களெல்லாம் இழிச்சவாயங்களா? பொய்யும் வாட்ஸ்அப் கதைகளும் தான் பாஜகவோட உயிர் மூச்சு.
And with that, I'm wrapping up this edition of 6 p.m. Prime. Thanks very much for tuning in. Coming up on the other side is Mission 2024 with Preeti Chaudhary. She's going to be getting you all the latest on the political showdown over CAA. You have Arvind Kejriwal now questioning the government, saying that because of CAA, because of Pakistani migrants in Delhi, they will lead to incidents of rape and rioting increasing in the capital.
The Election Commission of India is about to take up the biggest democratic exercise in the world. But just days ahead of declaration of general elections, the poll panel finds itself under intense scrutiny. The EC has received data of more than 22,000 electoral bonds submitted by the SBI. It has been directed by the Supreme Court to publish all the bond info on its website by Friday evening. Sources in the EC say it will be a challenge to post the data, which is in raw format, in line with the deadline. It is a busy week for the Commission. The Lok Sabha election process suffered a jolt after the surprise resignation of Election Commissioner Arun Goel on Saturday. The EC, in effect, is now left with only the Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar. The appointment committee, consisting of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, a union minister and the leader of the largest opposition party in Lok Sabha, is expected to hold a meeting on Thursday to select 2 new ECs. A Congress leader, however, has filed a petition in the Supreme Court opposing the appointment of the new ECs by the government. What stands out is that Arun Goel's appointment itself had triggered controversy. Goel, a Punjab cadre IAS officer, was appointed as Election Commissioner on November 19, 2022, just a day after he resigned from the Indian Administrative Service. The Supreme Court had questioned the tearing hurry in which Goel was appointed as Election Commissioner. The EC has been hit by resignations earlier as well. In August 2020, Election Commissioner Ashok Lavasa had resigned months ahead of becoming the CEC in April 2021. He quit a year after he dissented against the EC decision that gave a clean chit to Prime Minister Narendra Modi on charges of violation of Model Code of Conduct. Even as preparations are on for Lok Sabha elections, the EC is faced with a credibility crisis. Bureau Report, India Today.
In a surprising move just ahead of Lok Sabha polls, Election Commissioner Arun Goel resigned on Saturday. President Draupadi Murmu officially accepted Goel's resignation effective immediately as per Law Ministry notification. Arun Goel is a 1985 batch IAS officer from Punjab cadre. He was next in line to become CEC in 2025 and would have continued till 2027. However, appointment of Arun Goel has been controversial. Goel had opted voluntary retirement from service in November 2022 but was immediately appointed as Election Commissioner. Goel's appointment as EC was challenged in Supreme Court, terming the process a tearing hurry. In March 2023, the top court ruled on appointments of CEC and EC, saying that appointments would be done by committee that included Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition and CJI. The top court, however, dismissed petition challenging Goel's appointment as EC. In December 2023, Parliament passed the bill for appointment of CEC and EC. As per the new law, CJI was replaced with a cabinet minister. Arun Goel's resignation as EC has now sparked a political controversy. Opposition hit out at the centre. In 2020, Poll Commissioner Ashok Lavasa had quit to join the Asian Development Bank after allegedly descending on EC clean chit to Modi and Shah in poll code breach case. Last February, Poll Commissioner Anup Pandey had retired after attaining the age of 65. Chief Election Commissioner Rajiv Kumar is now the only top poll official standing. Will the centre appoint 2 more poll officials ahead of crucial polls? Bureau Report, India Today.
India's very own Silicon Valley. The high-tech city home to 14 million people. Facing its worst water shortage in decades. Weak monsoon, depleting groundwater, reservoirs and green cover, alongside extensive urbanization, have escalated a chronic problem into a crisis. But opportunists are exploiting Bengaluru's water crisis. An India Today investigation revealed residents at the mercy of a water tanker mafia. This cartel operates without government registration, flouting legal boundaries, particularly in South Bengaluru. Meet Lokesh. He's installed a borewell in a commercial location in the Jigni industrial area, and he's profiting from the extraction of already scarce groundwater, supplying it to our undercover reporter posing as a marble trader. Lokesh offered borewell water for drinking at 600 rupees for 6,000 litres. Supplies from unauthorised borewells delivered to Bengaluru homes. The city's water utility now requires permission for new borewells starting March 15th. Drinking water use for non-drinking purposes like car washing is also banned. But unscrupulous tanker operators continue to profit. This tanker was brazenly filled from a boring pump in a village outside Bengaluru. Guru Prakash, another supplier to the marble cutting industry in Jigni, claims